Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Rachel.
And this is So I'm Watching the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 12, Episode 3. There's something about Crystal.
I hate it. I hate it so much already. Oh, my God.
And this is your thing.
Yeah, I know.
Hopefully this goes smoother than last week in many ways.
I have high hopes.
Okay.
That is perfect. I need you to open up all the meat, crackers. When do you make cheese next?
I love her housekeeper, Lucy.
She's so funny.
I want Lucy to get more.
Love the cheese. But they fresh because the girl's coming earlier than I asked. So now I'm like, hi. I literally just finished making
I want a charcuterie board.
Next week we'll just have...
Yes, please.
But you won't eat brie either.
Just give me blue cheese with some honey. I'll be all right.
You don't have to put on a baby doll dress for us to know how young you are. You look so young.
I'm gay.
Makes her look like she's 12. I want to give her a lollipop. What's
Cottage
happening?
quarters in
Garcelle.
Garcelle, okay?
What's happening on your show today?
Yes, yes. You are planning Paris's wedding. How is it going? What are you up to?
Did you RSVP for Friday and Saturday night yet?
No, I didn't get an invite for the wedding. I got an invite for the shower.
Right, well, then I gotta check with everybody because a lot of people have not received Friday and Saturday.
Cheers. I just have to pee very quickly. You guys, have you heard our voicemail today?
Who?
It'll make you cry.
Who's?
When
What?
I heard that
I don't know.
voicemail, it's like a knife in my heart. I'm really worried about her.
Is this Dorit?
I don't know.
That's classic panic attack.
Oh.
Dorit, how are you?
I had a really rough night last night. I'm experiencing in waves a lot of physical and emotional trauma from this.
Imagine.
I took some Xanax hoping that it would ease and calm me, and it didn't help.
Wow.
But I know I have to do a lot of work to get there.
Yeah, it's going to be rough for a little while.
Time, because we are all going to be in La Quinta. I want to make sure that you guys are all good because Sutton and we had a conversation yesterday that was intense. We were talking about what happened to Dorit. She said, well, I'm having a bad day too. Her reaction was so strange. She said, I'm sorry that I didn't have a gun put to my head.
You're kidding.
She said, I mean,
I fucking love her.
I love
her.
Did she really say, I'm sorry I didn't have a gun to my head? Is that really what came out of her mouth? Yeah. Too insensitive.
I think we should have this conversation with her here. I don't feel comfortable talking about her behind her back.
You want to come with me? Oh, I forgot about that. Hold on, guys. No, let me go.
Her dogs are so bad.
No.
Oh, she has Belvedere. Belvedere is good. Oh, it's so old.
They just want to go for a ride. Yeah, puppies.
Somebody's at the gate.
That's probably the delivery for your art.
Can't wait to see it. I want to be gentle.
Do you have a crystal for
A
that?
giant amethyst! Amethyst wings, I think. Ah! I want it. Oh, I want it.
For the space, it offers protection.
I don't like it, but I want something like that.
I want all the crystals. I want all the cameras. I'm so happy I did it. Cheers. Could be cute. What if?
Fresh chili.
Oh, I like that though.
Well, we need to dig.
I have all these things that I normally would resell and take that money and buy new things, but I can't do that right now because of the bankruptcy trustees. Okay, girls, we're here. Okay. You excited to be here?
Oh, she picked the doggies.
Come on.
I want a big golden retriever and I want to name her Rapunzel.
Cute. You know, that's Selkie's inspiration for this release for spring. It's
Golden
called
retriever.
Out of the Tower.
Golden retrievers.
Do you ever go to the outlets? I live in Palm Springs. What is it? You would never need a shopping outlet. It was like discount designer. I don't go shopping. Actually, 30% off. That's what I like. I have clothes
was sent to my house by designers. I keep what I like and I send back what I don't like, and then I pay for it.
I love that for you.
All about it.
I would still like shopping. Do you like clothes shopping?
I don't pay retail for anything.
I just, because I spend all of my life at a mall,
Yeah.
I just don't. So I just buy all night. So it's like if designer send things to me, and I just send back what I don't like. Like I just sent back something to ASOS.
I know. These Manolos are probably from 2004.
You are so lucky that you kept them.
They're so out, they're in.
Fucking his bitches.
Oh my god.
Good. Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you came early. Let me fix the back.
Well, that's the only thing is I need someone to fix the back. Actually felt good to want to style again because trying to get dressed and just having no, and I mean no, that love and enjoyment I used to have.
This is how you know it's real. If they broke Dorit's desire to style and get dressed,
Dressed and present
I'm not trying to be mean.
what she loves.
Huh.
That will be in just a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Come sit. So,
Yeah.
I had some of the girls over, cocktails, and Kyle brought it up that you had a conversation with her.
Yes.
And
Do tell.
I wanted to talk to you about it, privately, because we're on this path of our friendship, and I like it.
Yeah.
And with that is always just transparency and honesty.
I like it.
And it sounded like you said something insensitive. Something like, well, sorry I didn't have a gun in my head.
That burglary freaked me out. I also had an intruder break into my house when I was 14.
So lead with that.
all of this, she's
Instead of being a bitch,
Yep.
and then when cornered being like, well, it was a
So it's not
bad
always
trauma
what
response.
and you never
Hey, remember the time I told the story about how I got held up and I was not a bitch about it? Wild.
because I don't like to think about it. Okay. Strikes a nerve with me because my father took a gun.
Well, and you said in the first episode,
Just realized.
I don't want to talk about it. We've all been talking about guns now.
Because I was looking for ammunition to throw and I was like, perfect. Oh.
Shaking. I can't with the guns.
Right, exactly what I said. She
You
was
were like-
compartmentalizing.
you were like, and also she's single and she lives alone
Yep.
and she's dealing with it in a bad way.
In the first place.
Right.
I can't wait.
It's gonna be fine.
And if only she were to go to them and be that forthcoming with the feelings, it would be perfect. And you know,
You mean like
she's
when
not.
Kyle talked to her about it a second time and gave her an opportunity to
And
explain
she
herself?
doubled the fuck down, and Kyle was like, "The fact you're doubling down is upsetting.
Have you
I can't."
you've seen X2, right?
Yeah.
Well, when they go to Bobby's house and it's like,
Yes.
have you tried not being a mutant?
Yeah.
I made a meme about that never took off and I was sad, but it was his mother and it just said, have you tried doubling down?
Where's the tape go? Give me please. We have to hide that. Kyle is coming in 2 minutes and we have to fix it, okay guys?
Are they not in La Quinta?
Palm Springs. That's Teddy?
She's got brown hair.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, I caught you in person. Amazing. Hi, how are you? How's everything?
I like Kyle's little hair thing.
Stress lunch.
So they're traveling from
La Quinta to Palm
To the
Springs.
store.
Yeah.
the stores in Palm Springs.
Yeah. La Quinta is like just outside of Palm Springs.
But the store is in Palm Springs.
Yes.
Okay.
Like Palm Springs proper.
Oh, so that's why they're in La Quinta.
Yeah.
I was like, why did they plan this vacation when they have... Okay.
This is my first store opening. I've never been to one.
You know I don't shop. I'm allergic.
Okay.
You're not allergic, Dorit.
I love this bitch.
How are you?
How are you? Congratulations.
Oh my god, how fabulous.
I think I like Erica.
I
She's
love
the only
Erica.
one so far that's
Yes.
talked to the...
Yes.
This is so
Yes.
This story is
This is why I
wonderful.
love her.
Great. I love
She knows where she comes from and she does not forget.
I just came in at a very
Oh, I know.
precarious...
I know.
It's very pretty. It's actually something I would wear at, even at my own house.
It's so shady. God.
It's actually very pretty. That is shade.
God.
To have a story.
Wear it at my own house.
She had to think about it
Oh
too.
my God.
That's not so crazy.
How are you?
I had a couple of really rough nights with tats and
Okay,
Of course.
take Dorit aside
This and a pair of heels and you're done.
and just say, "Hey, I just wanted to say I'm really sorry.
I stuck my foot in my mouth.
I've been having a hard time
Yep.
with it, and I want you to know that."
Yep.
Okay.
I
Okay.
am a
Okay.
very sincere person.
No.
Let someone tell you that.
Yep.
I think me saying, I'm sorry I didn't have a gun put to my head.
No,
That was a little like,
no, it was
that felt way
terrible
too,
thing to say.
yeah.
I get very upset about like guns and the break-in stuff. It makes me upset as well. It triggered me from like my childhood. And so when I get upset, I say weird things and I get uncomfortable and then I say uncomfortable things. I didn't mean it like that and I'm really, really sorry.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I do.
I can hear it in my brain for that man in our house. So I can't imagine what she can still hear.
I appreciate it.
Imagine if you only say that,
This is in her head the rest of her life.
right? If you just say it in the moment.
Anyway, so I'm glad you guys are all here. I'm very excited to celebrate this new story.
She's saying, I'm going to pay for my purchases. Diana's paying for all of Crystal's things. Oh, wait. Diana!
I would too. Hey! Throw another thing on there real quick.
It's black. I need someone in my life to get this ring, and it's you. Okay. Let's have it right now. No, I can't afford it. Maybe in the future. Right now, girl, it's grim.
I love this for her.
Yeah.
Give us the moments, okay? Really? Oh my God, okay?
I really appreciate, and I don't mean this in a shady way, I mean it genuinely, but I appreciate the different levels of wealth.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are happy. Okay. What are you doing? I know you're doing something. You're doing something. What were you just doing behind the back?
I was stabbing you behind the back.
I'm sure you are stabbing me behind the back.
Oh, wait, you pull mine out first.
I didn't stab you in the back. I do everything up front to the face.
I know you did. Coming up.
I really don't know Sutton that well, but I feel like that she's clumsy with her words.
Yep. See, I fucking love these bitches. I love them so much. I'm doing that from now on. I think she's clumsy.
But
with
this
her
is Little Miss
behavior.
Southern Pris
Fucking
manner.
love it. No, I love it because that's the reckoning these Southern bitches need. You are not being smooth at all. Everyone can see it. Obsessed. Have you ever in your life been or had that type of friend that would like hug you and then would make the stabbing like move behind your back or like something akin to that?
No, not.
I have.
Okay.
Where they're just like, oh, I'm just being funny. And it's like, no, you're really,
I mean, I had some
you're
shitty.
not.
I had some shitty high school friends, but it's like I'm really blessed with my. I mean, you can speak to that, like my relationships.
Yeah, no, you have been very fortunate. He's very smart. He surrounds himself with very, very strong women, and then
But I even have guy friends, but it's like I
weed out the ones that are not worthy. So you know,
I mean, I joke, but it's like literally. Like when people are dating and they move in after like a year or two, and I'm like, that's too soon.
bitch, I moved in with my ex-husband after 5 months. And that was when he told me he proposed to his first wife after 5 months. And I was like, oh my God, I would never.
But it's like literally everybody that I know, I have known for double-digit years. Like literally. So it's like.
Well, and so I think that's where I come in because I'm like, don't do it. I'm like tales from the outside. Like
I learn a lot vicariously.
Yeah.
Like I learn from my friends' mistakes and stuff.
Aren't you so glad you have me? I teach you so much, I feel like. Oh my God.
Hi, Jen. I learned a lot from her mistakes too.
Yeah.
Family margarita on the rocks. So pretty.
Do you want to walk into your vacation mansion and just rattle off orders?
Gus!
Leo. Oh, Leo.
Oh, no, that makes sense. No, she's a cusp.
Wait, August 23rd is Leo?
Yeah,
I thought August 23rd is Virgo.
it's cusp. It's cusp.
Well, I had the charts done by many, many astrologers.
Hey, whatever you want to be. That's very Virgo.
Look it up.
No, I know for a fact because my due date was the 23rd. So that is a cusp day. So that is when
I'm a cusp. I'm Cancer
right.
Leo.
So it's when the sun moves into Virgo. So it probably is dependent on her birth time when she was born. So she is probably a Leo, and I would imagine that her rising sign is probably Virgo.
Because I read both, and sometimes I identify as a Leo.
Yeah,
And
so-
other times I identify as a Cancer.
Yeah, I mean, no one ever guesses that I'm a Virgo. Everyone is just like, what are you? But it's because my rising sign is Gemini and my Mercury is Leo. So I am the embodiment of jazz hands. So that's why I'm doing this at all times.
There's tuna tartare.
It's a pizza bar and grill and you have fucking tuna tartare? God damn.
Food. How do I put everything on my plate? Look what I did it. I'm gonna come sit with my friends.
You are right. They are
so
bad.
bad.
That is bad.
So bad.
I have never had a dog. Dude, well,
No, they are bad dogs.
Digby did that. But not.
So bad.
Can't help it.
No.
What are you guys over here? Now that we're all together, can we talk about Sutton while she's here?
Oh, right. Let's talk about me.
I saw Sutton apologize to Dorit, and Dorit actually
That
accepted
eyeshadow
the
was really nice.
apology. Can we clear the air while she's
Then-
here? But the other night, everybody was talking about Sutton, but Sutton wasn't there. So now that Sutton's here, why don't we all have this conversation all over again?
I've apologized, and
I understand.
and, you know, I'm as genuine as I can be.
I know.
I am.
Right now,
I know.
I see that. It felt genuine when you apologized.
Yeah. I should not have put myself first over Dorit's problem. I didn't know what your state of mind was. I didn't
By the
know.
way, you could always reach out to someone with something like that, of course.
Well, I don't know. Boundaries are really very powerful things. When my father shot himself,
Oh!
I felt people calling me and coming over. I didn't want to go over there and bother Dorit because I know how Dorit is. She'll want to put out like a platter and make us feel better.
I mean, I think that's valid.
But I feel like
But I also think it's an excuse for being.
Being shitty.
and her behavior. Yep. You come off really weird and wrong. She does things and says things that really do hurt people.
Sometimes the new one. I just do. Okay, I have a genuine question for you. Genuine question. Out of the myriad of things that I've experienced in my life, have I ever do I do that where I'm just like, well, I know you're going through this, but when this thing happened to me, do I ever make anyone feel uncomfortable in that type of way?
No.
Okay. So you don't get to dangle your trauma in front of other people and be like, this is my out. It just
I mean,
is
you're open about it. You talk about it, but you don't one up people while they're you don't use it.
and there is a difference of being open and one upping. I am a very, very firm believer in those two things because there is a fine line because it's I'll fucking talk about it all day long, but I don't use it as a way to be like, well, I've had this, so I am excluded from any kind of repercussion.
Sure, absolutely. There's also another thing going on here, and it's that Crystal, Garcelle, and Sutton feel like they're on the outskirt of this friend group, and that's because they are. They're newer, and I don't know how much money Sutton has because I thought
She's
has a lot.
bestie
Okay.
with Dolce & Gabbana. Fucking Lisa Rinna, the fucking gif of her being like, she's rich, honey, she's rich, is about fucking Sutton.
Okay, But it's like, it seems to be, because they touched on it with the staying in the house versus, because Garcelle was like staying in Kyle's house this time, while Crystal, Diana, and Sutton are at the hotel. But I think that that's what's going to factor in when we come back, because suddenly Crystal was in the hot seat and she hasn't done anything this episode. But I am a little bit of two minds with Garcelle. Like, she didn't need to bring this one up. Like, Sutton's here, let's have the conversation, because they already dealt with it at the store.
Right.
However,
especially directly to the source.
No, yeah. However, this is a show. All of these conversations are going to get played back. They're going to see them all, and they're going to have opinions come the reunion. So I do think there is something interesting to having her be this weird referee / scorekeeper, where every time they're together, she's like, okay, let's recant everything we've said since the last meeting. I think it's kind of interesting.
But couldn't, instead of being like, let's have the conversation about Sutton now that she's here, couldn't she be like, oh, hey, guys, in case you were interested, Dorit and Sutton had a conversation. Everything's all good now.
Sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, as a spectator, I enjoy someone playing that role. It's just very...
Yeah.
And again, I find it funny.
Well, yeah. And I mean, I said it before. Like, if I was part of a reality show, I probably would be very boring because I would be playing, like, real world rules where I'm just like, oh, no, we talked about it and it's fine. And it's just, that's boring.
We're also largely pacifists in that. Like, like I was a peacekeeper. See, that's the thing, is I would get in trouble in high school trying to keep the peace because I would see fights like happening and I'd try and get out in front of them and I'd end up causing the drama.
Okay.
Like, I would try to mediate and I'd try to be like, so I was talking to blank earlier and she just feels blah, blah, blah. And then they'd like, why were you talking about me behind my back? And I was like, it wasn't behind your back. I was trying. And so in that regard, again, Crystal, because it was like what Crystal was saying to, I don't know. I find it very interesting. It's coming back.
He's just being in the background going.
That well, but I feel like that she's clumsy with her words and her behavior. You come off really weird and wrong. She does things and says things that really do hurt people. I am very forgiving, but I don't forget. First of all, I don't cancel.
That was so funny.
It's not something that should ever be discussed. I also think redeeming fact is that you work on yourself and you apologize, and I've heard you now 2-3 times apologize.
I love to apologize. And I was empathetic.
No, you actually
Yes, I was, Kyle. I was totally empathetic.
That's a lot of hypocrisy. That's annoying. It's really inappropriate to tell someone they feel wrong. To me, that is ultimate gaslighting, and that makes me distrusting in a friendship. What, Crystal?
She's having a hard time.
Of what? You know, we had our stuff before. I expressed how I was feeling, and you guys went on a very strong campaign, every single one of you, to police my feelings and tell me I was wrong about her intention. You said change the word to rude from violated. That's not how I felt. Okay, did I think that you felt violated was a little extreme when she brought a jacket to your room? Yes, I did, and I will say that. Did I think it was rude that she said, I'm sorry that my designer couldn't get in from France and Dorit was literally had her life threatened? Yes. You can't compare apples to oranges. Like, you can't. You guys asked me to give her the benefit of the doubt. But you guys can all go against her now and say that because it affects you guys. I'm not going against. I'm just very triggered by the whole thing. I don't know if she is a millennial or whatever generation, XYZ.
Ma'am. Ma'am. Ma'am.
Calm down.
Famously.
Ma'am.
In my mind, the correlation, it's extremely connected. And I would have appreciated you at least giving me a little break to understand my
Sorry,
thoughts.
with all due respect, you cannot compare this situation to that. They are very different situations. This situation needs a lot more defending than that.
One of the biggest lessons that I had with all of that between me and you was the respect of how someone feels. And I think that that's so important.
Wait, do you respect how you treated me last year? Do you feel anything about how you treated me last year and how you handled our situation right here in this room? I feel pretty good about how.
This isn't okay.
Do you realize that everything you said is not true and has been proven to be not true? Are you aware of that?
Do you feel good about how you treated me?
Absolutely, bitch. I'll go 1,000% once again. The pattern is Crystal, Erica, now Dorit. And it all stems from Sutton, in the sense that Sutton says things and then you end up in these sort of situations with people. What is the common denominator in everything that we're talking about tonight? Sutton. Am I wrong?
Oh, God.
I'm confused about the Crystal right now. I'm confused.
I'm done.
No.
She doesn't understand. They're never going to understand. So I'm not going to talk about it anymore. There's only so much that you can express how you feel. If someone doesn't accept how you feel, you let it go.
No, it's not that. We are allowed for each individual. By the way,
I understand your perspective. Your perspective is, I'm not allowed to feel violated. It's too strong.
Crystal, you're being too dramatic about this. Each situation is different.
I never
This is
said
not a
we have the
situation.
same situation. I'm triggered by what's happening right
I
now.
understand
That's
that.
all.
But
Because I get it, it's a different scenario, but it's still her feelings.
Because my feelings are irrelevant. No, not true. Stop. I'm done. You guys, I'm done. Stop. Not true. It is. Get real. Are you out of your...
Oh, stop that, Dorit. Oh. She did that at the reunion, and I didn't like it then either. They were having 5 different conversations.
Yep.
And they were at a different part in each conversation.
Yep.
There needs to not be alcohol.
Nope. And if only someone had just stepped in and said, Diana tried to. She
And
was like,
Lisa-
she apologized. She apologized. It's done. She apologized to the person that she hurt her feelings. It's fucking weird, but she apologized. We're done.
That surprised. I mean, I get it, but that surprised me from Crystal. I guess I didn't realize that she was that sensitive. I guess I should have realized, because she's so quiet. But
Well, and it's just like, okay, so I was zooming out from it, because when she was like, you are saying that I'm not allowed to feel the way that I feel. And because it's like, and they played to the cutback where it was like, violated was too strong a word. And it's just like, like when we looked at the situation, I too felt that way. Like violated was a very, very big word.
I was on Crystal's sides with that, because there's a difference between feeling violated. She felt passively violated.
Felt violated. No one
but
did
Sutton
violate
didn't
it.
violate her.
Yes,
It's
yes,
a different.
Yes.
Even though it's the same word, it means different things.
Yes, absolutely. Because they're violating is like there is an act of violence or like an act that's being done. Yeah, I don't, because this is the issue that we get into every season, because it's like it's just shampooing issues that I thought we moved forward from.
But if you don't actually talk about it,
Exactly.
which I was the one that pointed out.
Exactly. And so,
because it's like, I want to be like this. Well, not that there's blame. It's not about blame, but Garcelle brought this back up, even though at the moment but it wasn't quashed.
No.
It wasn't. Sutton was still making all of this. And frankly, in Erica's point, I mean, yeah, it was Sutton and Crystal. Then it was Sutton and Erica. Now it's Sutton and...
So then at that point, why wouldn't Sutton just be like, just stand up and just scream in the group of people and just be like, I'm sorry. I don't do well with this. I'm on camera. I fucked up. I'm sorry. Every single one of you is right. I am very sorry. I have apologized to each and every one of you, except Erica. And I own what I said, and I'm sorry, and I want to move on. That all of that would have been done if she had just done that. But she's quiet. That's my whole thing. Everyone gets to fight around her, but she just sits there with her fucking bullshit faces. Like she's so surprised. And it's just like, be an active participant in people fighting about you. I would be fucking pissed if people were fighting around me, about me, in front of me.
There's just also, I mean, maybe she just is not part of this friend group. Like if it weren't a TV show, she might have moved on to different friends.
Well, then fucking quit. You don't need the money. If you have so much fucking money that you can buy a table of Elton John's thing. I was about to say funeral, but That's
Cherry.
not the word. Thank you. And she can buy a convertible Bentley, and she can do X, Y, and Z. And she's got money, honey, because she's got all nothing but couture. Then she needs to move the fuck on and not be on this fucking television show.
Well, and because the thing is, my secret, and I'm not a doctor, psychiatrist, therapist, whatever, so I'm not an expert. But my secret to friendship has been, or to relationships in general, is you have to care about the relationship as much as you care about yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or more.
Absolutely.
So if you are consistently getting this piece of feedback, if you are to stay in the relationship, then you need to be like, help me understand, or help me like effectively. It's not, I don't want to use the word change, but it's like how do we move forward? Because if you can't come to a way to do that, then you part ways.
Right. And so I guess that's
Did that make sense?
Absolutely. Here, pause it really quick. I guess that's what's frustrating to me, because I feel like you and I are very similar in that, but that's self-awareness. And the thing that always upsets me and frustrates me about a lot of people is not everyone is very self-aware, because for me, all that is perpetuating a cycle, right? So if I'm Sutton and I'm realizing that every new friendship with a woman that I have, I'm having the same thing where I have a connection, I fight with that person, and then it's turmoil and turmoil and turmoil until we finally get to an understanding, and then we're bestie, right? And that is the same cycle that I keep having. But that's also like in real life terms, I'm looking at people that go through the same fucking thing over and over and over again, but they don't ever take a step back and be like, am I the drama?
Is it me?
Is it me? Am I the villain? I'm not the villain. And it's those people that don't fucking understand it.
But the next part of that meme is, maybe I am.
Yeah.
And if you don't follow that through.
Yes, it's the self-awareness. And so I don't have tolerance for people like that who just are like, what do you mean?
Well, because she also seems like she can't take it. Because like, Erica, from what I've seen,
she can dish it and she can fucking take it. Absolutely.
She seems like she'll be the first to cheer someone over a like.
She is the one. She absolutely who understands who she is when she shows up to a relationship, regardless of what kind of relationship that is, be it a good one or a bad one.
It's like, I forget what it was, but when we were doing our office tour and I said something to Kristen, like somewhat critical about herself, and she turned around and she goes, "That's fair." It was like.
Yeah, I mean, but it's just it's that level of understanding and acceptance that I appreciate, and that's why I like Erica so much, because she is so centered and lived in who she is as a person, whereas Sutton doesn't know who she is, and I think that's a product of her marriage and what she has gone through in her life, and that makes me very
she's committed
sad
to
for her.
a version of herself,
right? Whereas like, BB, you are on your own now. You are free. You have the opportunity to create a whole new person. You are still alive. If you're not learning, you're fucking dead, my dude. So like, figure it out and make some changes. No one's going to be mad at you. You're fucking nobody. So it's like, if anything, you will probably redeem yourself in a lot of people's eyes, mine specifically, if you're just like, you're right. I am tacky and I'm weird and I am very sorry about it. And I endeavor to persevere to be better in my relationships. So
even just like, I'll work on it. I make no promises, but
all I can promise is to be better.
I'm still a little, like I said, I get Crystal, like I get where she's coming from, but I'm a little surprised that it reared its head this way. Mm-hmm. Either they've been drinking more than we know, or she's really still butthurt and been holding on to this.
I think that part.
Because that surprised me a little bit. Yeah. Okay, we're back.
This is not a safe space for me. I don't feel good in this place.
Are you kidding me? It's a real poor choice of words.
That's not what she means.
Yeah, it's
I
not.
don't want you.
Yeah, you're being too sensitive.
You guys will never validate someone's feelings unless you can understand it. That's the truth. That is the truth. I've expressed so much about my history, my pain, to tell you guys how I feel, and you guys don't listen. You don't care, and it's fine. I care. I don't need that. Honestly, this is not okay for me. It's not a good place for me. I really don't want to be here. Honestly, I never thought this was gonna happen tonight. Never. It's too dramatic, and I don't like it. But I really can't be here.
Let her leave. But
I'm her bodyguard. Crystal, I'd like to have.
I care about you. I don't want you to ever think, ever, for
Talk about it later. You're standing up.
Yeah, you're standing up and you're
Let her
yelling.
leave. Let her leave.
Yep.
Just let her have this.
No, 100%. Your feelings are not validated.
Talk about it tomorrow.
Yep.
That you are in this
Oh.
with all this inside. I want to understand. I am not being hurt. I don't know how else to explain it to you.
Alright, bodyguard is leaving, Crystal.
Are you okay?
I'm not riding with these girls. What am I doing? Let's go. Let's hit it.
Oh God, Kyle. I mean, my God.
How these dogs are still alive is beyond me.
Every day, laughing, text messages, everything's happy, hunky-dory.
Who's hunky dory?
So tonight,
That's what happens now. Sweep that carpet. She doesn't feel validated. It's unresolved feelings. And you know what? The truth was told tonight.
How did it escalate?
Last year, she apologized for not validating my feelings. Our whole thing was very interesting for me.
Because I had to really listen.
That's how you felt. And I had a disorder. And then it's like, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how Crystal feels. I never look for people to validate. I don't care in general.
Yeah.
But to have people,
I didn't see you naked either.
a gang of people, keep telling you you can't feel that way. It's very intense.
Yeah.
So like, what's the takeaway tonight?
Let everybody feel how they want to feel.
The takeaway is that we need to.
Whether we like it or not.
But guys, I don't want us to try and interpret what she means by that. So let's try and ask her what she means by that, and then let's also try not to judge it in the moment. Like, let's just hear her out. Yeah. Let's not jump on her and judge her.
look at you.
Well,
Oh my God! Ariel! Who are you? I'm like, who are you?
next time.
That was so good.
Hills. I haven't eaten meat in so long, but there's something about bacon that I cannot resist.
Bacon eating vegetarian doesn't exist. I felt like no matter what Sutton said, you were going to say, "Are you that girl?" I just felt like it was a setup.
There was a lot more said. That was very dark. Right now, I need to hold it together for the kids.
I do worry about what you're leaving inside.
I want you to think of being on the ground with a gun to your
No,
head.
that needs to be in private.
What she alluded to made me feel like you had said something crazy.
You opened up a can of worms. You don't remember? Quit telling me that. I do remember.
Just say what she said.
It's very damaging.
Watch your back with your new friend.
I'm worried about Crystal. I like Crystal. I still do. I'm like, where are you?
I just, I don't, because that conversation about like, are you, tell me you're not that girl. That conversation very much was like white performative ally type of thing. And it was a very warranted comment.
Well, that's judging next week.
Right.
So we'll have to actually watch.
That I am worried and sad for Crystal because I still think that trigger for discussion about eating disorders, but I still think that Crystal very much is in the throes of her recovery. And when it comes to eating disorders, you were never really fully recovered. It's like an addiction. So you're never fully without the addiction. So I'm worried for her because I don't think that she may be as far in her recovery as she may feel that she is. And so I think that she probably does get very triggered very quickly. And I think that the situation with Sutton with the violation and then also having it compounded with being on a television show is probably taking it to another level that she probably was not prepared for.
That's what I meant, where it's like, it's not that I don't think that she's not friends with these people.
Right.
She is, but we have to remember that this is a job in a reality TV show.
Yes.
So she was given a call sheet with her name and a show up time, and she's being put in these places. This didn't organically unfold.
Right.
With
And then
the
she's
normal trust.
also found herself on a platform whether or not she was ready to be the face of eating disorders.
She's a young
or whatever.
person.
Yeah.
She's eating disorders. She's the Asian woman having to
Right.
educate.
Yeah,
She
it's a lot.
has a lot.
It's a lot.
A lot of like
Yeah, it's a lot, and especially being like a woman of color on a very traditionally like white woman type of television show. So it is a lot, and it's very stressful, and
because it's very odd. It was very odd having the catalyst for her. I don't want to call it a breakdown, for her reaction be Sutton, but for her to not be fighting with, like, Sutton left with her.
yeah.
That was sort of, and Sutton even said, she was like, because these are the parts where I do like Sutton, or I do get Sutton, where Sutton was like, we had to do a lot of work. And Sutton was sort of like, it was hard for me to understand.
But then also,
she got there.
But then also in the car, she was like, I didn't see you naked, by the way. So she's still trying to control the narrative. So it's all just such a mess.
So she was doing what Crystal was complaining about,
Yes.
whilst also circling.
The call's coming from inside the house. I can't. Oh my God.
There's a lot of, oh man.
There's a lot of there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just, because I like Dorit. Well, like I said, I actually, in a very broad sense, I like all of these women, and broadly, I think they're all good people, given, everything. But fucking Dorit with she keeps, when she was standing up at the end of that, I was like,
hunched over, like yelling.
They won't let people leave.
No.
And I'm like, I don't know if that's a production thing because you need to finish the scene, but it's like, if it gets too much and someone needs to remove themselves, let them. Yeah. There's that whole like, don't go to bed angry. It's like,
go to bed angry. Big time angry. Yeah.
Well, what that means to me is resolve your issues.
Mm-hmm. Or there's nothing wrong saying, I'm tired. We're not getting anywhere. I need to go to bed.
We'll pick this up later.
I need to go to bed.
So don't go to bed angry, like I said, to me means don't not resolve things. It means come to a conclusion, but that might be tomorrow or sometimes even next week. Mm-hmm. Like,
no, I'll go to bed angry. I'll just say, I can't do this right now. I need to do it tomorrow. Because when I'm tired, when I'm hungry, when I am entirely too upset, if I'm too drunk, there is no point in having any kind of conversation. The only like almost physical altercation I have ever gotten in my entire life, it's because I was trying to be like, we're all too drunk. We need to talk about this tomorrow. And a person was like, no, don't tell us how to feel, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, we're all too drunk. Let's do it tomorrow. And they wouldn't let it go. And I'm like, now it's out of hand. So, but yeah, when it's time to go, it's time to fucking go.
Well, that was episode 3. There's Sutton about Crystal.
Oh my God.
Hopefully you enjoyed yourself, and hopefully we'll see you back next week.
Bye.